I wasn't sure which story I was going to tell when I got here. First time I came here was last summer, just about the same month. I do a birthday bucket list. Last year was number 39. And one of my items was do something brave. So I Googled things to do in Madison. And Story Time was there. Came, put my name in, came up and kind of word vomited, if you will, a story, quite impromptu, because I found the theme out when I met Adam at the registration table. So this is on my bucket list for 40, but I'm only getting to do one thing tonight, so forgive me if this doesn't exactly fit in the theme, but I want to ask, how many of you guys have like those pat answers for when somebody asks you, how are you doing? We all do. Hey, what's up? I'm good. How you doing? Yeah, but see, we don't say those things, do we? We don't say, I'm tired. We say, it's all right. You know, we have these pat answers, and I am so good at them. I've mastered them. What I'm not good at is when somebody physically stops, stands right in front of me, and looks me right in the eye. That kind of look that just, you want to look away, but then you know you look shady. And you want to look at them, but you never quite know, like, how long is appropriate. Because it gets kind of weird at some point. But when somebody stops in front of you, and they have that physical presence, and they look you right in the eye, and they command your eyeballs on their eyeballs, and they look at you and they say, just tell me what's going on. I want to say your word right now. Plan B was to come and just word vomit an impromptu story based upon a verb that I gave my brother and sister, but we're going with plan A. I would have said your word, I would have said shit, but it was a pastor that I was talking to. So I just kind of looked at them, and then, like they knew that there was words weighed down inside of me, he put his hand on my shoulder and pushed, and he said, tell me. And what erupted from me was words I never, ever intended to come out. It was just projectile, like my son Eli, he is the best. You give that dude goat's milk because you want to be all healthy, and it's across the room, and you're not really sure how it's on the wall, but there's nothing in between your child and it. And that's kind of what I felt like, because I know the words had been there for so long. I thought about it. 12 years I've been writing this story. 12 years. And if you know anything about INFJs, we write and we scribble and we rewrite, and then we say, wait, if I tell this ever, which I never intend on doing, let's just semicolon that and ellipses. I'm addicted to ellipses because I'm addicted to words, and they all kind of run together, and I vomit them out a lot. They know, they do. But I didn't want to say these words, and I was so good at being guarded, so good at it. And I wasn't ready for the silence, because the hand was down and there was two jaws hanging there, and there's two sets of eyes looking at each other, and my eyes, I'm not a bold person by any means. That's why I have to do bucket lists to make myself do things. It's an accountability thing. But I felt kind of brave at that moment. In that instant, I said, that's right, I said it, you asked me, you deal with it now. I've been carrying it. You pushed me down, you asked me, it's yours. And they were gone. The weight of the words and the story that had taken so long to write, they were gone, and I was silent, and it was really heavy for an instant. And then it was really light, and I saw that they had that weight. But then the silence gets really weird, because you don't know how to fill the void anymore, because it's been all that you have been is those words, those stories, kind of like your own little dialogue as you go through life and you do these routines. But they were gone. And as quickly as they erupted, they were silent. And it takes a really long time to find words when there are no more. And so you start with bucket lists, and you start with simply saying it as you go along. She knows. I tell people things. I say, hey, I got this really cool project that I want to do because I'm doing this like personal self-reinvention thing, and I vomit words all the time. It's kind of my thing. And if you look at my resume, I've been a teacher. I'm now paid to do a lot of talking. It's what I do. It's what I'm good at. But there's a vulnerability when somebody wants words from you that you don't want to tell. And then you're stuck because they're gone. And then you know that those words have power. They have power to rearrange your life. They have power because you never, ever wanted anybody to know that those words were even in you. And your silence, it doesn't fill the void. And when they start asking you, somebody like you're so freaking smart. How could you do that for 12 years? You had no words left. Yeah, well. What was going on? What were you thinking? Good luck getting that out of me. I told my story. There's nothing here. There's nothing left. There's no words. Nothing. It's just not there. And so you start, and you keep going, and you start writing again. But this time, you get it your own way. You say, wait a minute. They made me tell them words that I didn't want to say. I'm going to have to figure out a way that everything that comes out is what I want to come out. And the only way that I know that if somebody stops and says, tell me what's really going on with you. And they stop, and then that thing gets kind of weird because the eye thing just gets, I look shady all the time. I'm like, really cool architecture up there. Yeah. Because I know after too long I'm going to say something that I don't want to say. But the only way to do it is to write my own words. So I started rewriting, and I find that the more I write those words down and I hold myself accountable to them, then I'm not so afraid when they come out. Because I've already said, no wait, I want these words in the story of me. And then when they come out, they're just not that bad.